Welcome to part 3 of Mental Health Crisis in America, what I have learned from living with diverse indigenous peoples around the world. So in the second video, I was talking about how for your sons, you need to give them 2 initiations before the age of 18 to prevent them from going to jail, getting addicted to drugs, ending up homeless, ending up in a mental health crisis, going bang bang at the school, all of these problems that are so real and so alive in dystopian America at this juncture in history, okay? So I kind of did an abbreviated form. On the platform I'm using to record this, I can only record 10-minute videos, so that's why I'm doing it like this. But you can reach out to me. So here we go. The second initiation that your son needs when he's about 16 years old, okay? He needs to understand the importance and the power of his life force energy. He needs to understand that with his creative life force energy, he can literally create and destroy worlds, okay? He can literally be the one to clean up the oceans or come up with a system that eliminates poverty or, whatever he likes to do, remove corruption from the political system, whatever he wants to do. Or he can throw shopping carts off of bridges, okay? So, yeah, when my nephew, my favorite nephew, who's brilliant, who's a starseed, who came here to change things, when he was 12, he says to me, or maybe he was 14, when he was about 14, he says to me, "Hey, Auntie, guess what I did? I threw a shopping cart off a bridge." So he's full of life. He's full of life. He's not afraid. He wants to do stuff. He wants to go out. He wants to build stuff or break stuff or something. He has so much energy, right? If you were working on a farm, he would be the MVP because he has so much energy. In a classroom, he had a lot of trouble. But our school systems are really just made to dumb us down. He had a very hard time there. He was medicated from a young age, broke my heart, and I pretty much wasn't welcome to say anything to my family. I have them all blocked on here. They have attacked me for speaking about these things before, but it's time to speak. It's time to speak. So you need to initiate your sons. You need to initiate them. They need to learn how their life force energy works. That's why there's so many shootings in America. These boys want to do something. They're powerful. Okay, so, the second initiation that your son needs before the age of 18, around the age of after puberty hits, maybe 16, okay? You need to give him a challenge, something in nature, where he's faced with his own life and death. You need to simulate death, but not in a morbid way, just in a way that puts him in touch with his own strength, okay? So have you ever had a life and death situation yourself? And in Mexico, we use sweat lodges to kind of induce this life and death situation, and it really helps you align and put things into perspective. So when you feel like you're about to die, you get really, 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 really humble, and you say, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I need to apologize to this person. I need to apologize to this person. Oh dear God, and I pray if I get out of this, I promise I'll be a good person and I'll go help that person." So there's ways to induce this kind of life and death situation without having to create a crisis, okay? So what I've had to see my nephew go through, he's a shamanic soul. He is a starseed. So I've had to see him, because his parents are not open to these ways, He has had to create crises for himself, to create initiations. Because the difference between trauma and initiation is that the trauma has been healed. So all of your sicknesses, now the adult child, I'm talking to you, the adult, but I'm talking to your inner child too. All of those crises that you went through, all of those sicknesses that you've overcome, all of those challenges that you've risen above, those were your initiations, okay? But we're living in a dystopia right now. So if you want to eliminate the crises from your family, if you want to eliminate your kid having an accident, your kid getting sick, all of these initiations that they unconsciously manufacture so that they can face the truth of their soul and so that they can orient themselves. They need orientation. Okay? So you need to do something. You can handcraft it, okay? If you need help handcrafting it, reach out. I do all my work by donation, as I have been taught by the many different beautiful indigenous peoples of the earth. I work for the earth and for the oneness of all. That is who I work for. So, but you can do this on your own. I'm giving you that outline, okay? They need to have a challenge, like send them into nature for 24 hours with no food and water. In the Red Road tradition, they do this, I think, for 4 days. And you can do this as an adult, too, to initiate yourself, because we didn't get initiations. You didn't get initiations. Your illnesses were your initiation. That was your initiation, okay? So if you don't want your kids getting ill or having accidents, you can give them these conscious initiations that help them orient themselves and understand how their power works and understand why they need to be a nice person and what they can actually do with their life force energy that benefits the community in a satisfying way, that gives them purpose. They're disoriented. They need, okay, so send them into nature, minimum of 24 hours, no food, no water, camping trips, scared of the dark, by themselves, but you're holding the fort down, you're praying for them, this is similar to the practice from the Red Road tradition, which sends people on a mountain for 4 days. No food, no water, no shelter even. Okay, so, but you can create your own initiation. We're not going back to the old ways. We can take the good things from the old ways, but also all indigenous peoples from all around the world did some crazy stuff too. So I'm not over glorifying indigenous cultures. Like, they're all very, very different. Even in one area, like in the Amazon, there's so many different tribes. They all do things very differently. In Mexico, there's so many different tribes and they do things differently. Okay, the Mayans and the Aztecs and the Zapotecs, and they're all different. Okay, and so you don't want to just like go back and copy. You want to inform yourself, and then I recommend reading the book. If you want to like really understand this and go really deep with it, I recommend reading the book of Water and Spirit, I think it's called, by Mali Doma Some, who was an African shaman, and it was his life's work to bridge this gap between Western mind and traditional mind. And he talks a lot about the importance of initiating the males, okay? And for the females, you definitely need to honor them also in a similar way, especially when they get their menstrual blood, creating an honoring ceremony for them. Teaching them about their sexuality, about their body, about their power, about cycles, and about the sacredness of their life and their energy and their body and how precious they are, and honor them and tell them that they are special and valuable. It's very important that you tell your children exactly as you are, I love you, because we are constantly bombarded by the media with images telling us that no matter what we look like it's wrong, that, you know, we're not enough, there's not enough. Okay, so if you need additional support, reach out at lovelikeanocean.com.